The Beanie Boys are back.
Boys are back in town. Oh, no,
The
wait.
Beanie Boys are back.
Beanie Boys. Beanie Boys.
Beanie Boys are back in town tonight.
Oh, Chantal.
Wee.
Oh, les Beanie Boys.
The Beanie Boys are back.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Symbiotic, separated at birth. Tom Grossi and I.
That's
we,
it.
Running a little late for the show today, both of us getting our crap together.
Literally.
I come downstairs 2 minutes before the show starts. I put on a beanie, which I never do because my hair, you know that scene in Dumb and Dumber where the cop calls him a pumpkin pie haircutted freak?
Yes.
That's what my hair looked like this morning. I'm like, I got to cover this up. Put a green beanie on only to see Tom Grossi in a green beanie as well. We did not plan this.
Nope.
Did not plan this, but it's gotta mean something.
No, it means the Beanie Boys are back. The most elusive and nefarious French gang there is. The French police have been after us for months.
Oh,
the constable is always hunting us.
Yes.
But the Beanie Boys always elude authority. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the Grossi Perna Show, GPS. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon freaking Frack and Perna, the G to the P to the S. And we got a Wednesday lineup for you. And oh boy, it's going to be something. What's it going to be? I don't know. But I want to start right off the gate. I want to come out swinging. Brandon Perna.
Okay.
Because I saw this yesterday for the Detroit Lions, who are mathematically still playoff contenders.
Wow. Right now, they haven't been eliminated?
They haven't been eliminated. Okay. So right now, well, I don't even know how many zeros this was. I didn't even count. I think it's 1 million. I think like the odds are literally like you put down $1 for the Detroit Lions and you can win $1 million if they win the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure it's plus 1 million.
It's as safe as buying Bitcoin when it was less than $1.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. Now, I'm not saying that that's a safe bet, but if you wanted to make bets.
Oh! Here's the thing, Tom.
Nailed it.
Today, we are going to look at the most important players for teams making playoff pushes that are not quarterbacks. Quarterbacks get too much love.
Too much.
You know what you can't give enough love to is DraftKings Sportsbook, baby. A cha-cha mama. A chi-chu cha-cha. They said add more weird sound effects to the ad read, and I said, okay, DraftKings. Here's a legal disclaimer.
Oh, I was about to hit the button.
Ooh, okay. We got GPS as your code.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I went up to my wife on Monday night or Tuesday night. It was the whole day later. And I was like, because she watches GPS and, you know, to post on my Instas.
Yeah.
I was like, did you see how much I won on my parlay? And she's like, I got it at the end of it.
Oh.
And I was like, I won $500. And then I opened up DraftKings again, and I actually won $640. I was like, I won $640 because of this parlay. And I'm on back-to-back parlay victories. I'm betting the overs and unders on quarterback production, receiver, running back production. For me, that's, I think, like a smart way to do your betting. Think about players, matchups, what you think they can do in terms of over-unders in the game. Stack a couple of them, and you're going to maximize your output. And I was on a cold streak. But Daddy got hot. And if you're going to get hot, use code GPS at DraftKings. They're going to match your first-time deposit bonus of up to $1,000. They've got can't-miss offers every week. All kinds of bonuses and ways to keep you in the game. the action. They're official sports betting partner of the NFL. So if the NFL buys in on DraftKings, maybe you should too. Link in the description. GPS. All right, Tom.
We got lots to talk about. We got lots to break down. Got lots to configure. You know, it's funny. Monday Night Football, I was going to stream it. And then I was like, wait a minute. I'm not going to enjoy this game. This is going to be a terrible game. And for like 3 quarters and 13 minutes, I was correct. It was a pretty terrible game. But the Seahawks losing right now. There you go. All of this is just to go to Paris as the Beanie Boys.
La Amora Paris.
That's it. That
was
baby.
My high school prom theme when I was class president. So I was in charge of taking care of that. SHIT.
Oh, so you're a big shot, huh? Like you doing big things in your youth, huh?
We had me and Phil Busca had a great campaign. It was a tight race, but we just went full on comedy to get the win, and we won. We won. Okay. I mean, that's rocking. By the way, Clickbait Sports Power Rank. Tommyism still number 1. So number one. Oh, Mile High Mediocrity. Hey, baby, we're back in the playoff race.
That's
Freddie Kitchens, new head coach, 2022. Oh, is that Adam?
Listen, I want to talk about one team in particular.
Sure.
And I want to talk about the Seattle Seahawks. Okay,
you mean, and I'm going to spoil a joke for later, but you mean the Seattle 3-and-outs, Tom? Because they are atrocious on offense right now.
They are. And I have to say, you know, it's been a tough year. You know, lots of trials and tribulations. But the Seahawks literally sucking so much that they're going to miss the playoffs warms my cold, dead soul so much. Because since 2011, Brandon Perna, they have not had a losing record. And they are making their way downtown, walking fast, faces passing them homebound. And they're going home because they're going to be sitting on the couch come January. And I am all about it. What the hell is going on with the Seattle Seahawks?
Well, my theory is that, Guillermo, I love you, my friend. I love you. My theory is that Russell Wilson's unbelievable, miraculous finger recovery where he rehabbed 19 hours a day.
54 hours
a day. His fingers still hurt. His fingers still hurt, man. And when you're a quarterback, you kind of need it. He's looked bad since he's returned. Their offensive line, no bueno. They can't run the ball effectively. They're literally going 3-and-out, I think, more than any other offense right now since his return.
That's great.
So their time of possession is garbage. They can't stay on the field. They can't sustain a drive. And when you do that, you put a lot of pressure on your defense, which is tough for even a good defense. And we know Seattle's defense is, sometimes it looks like it could be turning a corner. Seattle's defense is perpetually a defense that looks like it might turn a corner. And then it just doesn't.
And then it just stays straight downhill. There's no turning left. There's no turning right.
Yeah.
Everywhere you look, Russell Wilson's finger's in the spotlight.
So his finger. Like, I guess we learned Aaron Rodgers with the fractured toe better than Russell Wilson with an injury to his finger.
Russell who? Yeah, I was trying to gibberish. I was trying to get that video of the us in France, but for some reason it's not working. So I apologize to all. Good night. But you were talking about cool things that you did in your childhood. It took way too long for this to upload, but look how cool I was as a child. Yeah, you wish you had that swagger. Look at that. Macaulay Culkin. Yeah, they never gave me a call for Home Alone 4. They never.
Oh, wow.
They never did. I got that a lot. I also was rocking a Mickey Mouse bag because I went to the Disney store, I guess. I was in the mall. Now the mall is broke and everyone's lost their job and the town is crumbling and its infrastructure is terrible. and they put in a steakhouse, but no one goes. No one goes to the steakhouse. They're trying to revive the mall, but can you revive something that's already dead? There's pieces of it falling off. It has rigor mortis. It's blue.
I worked in the mall. Nito Burrito. Nito Burrito. The concept was Chipotle before Chipotle was popular.
So Nito Burrito could have been Chipotle.
Could have been. I knew the guy who started it. That's why I got the job. Problem was, it was right next to this other Mexican restaurant called Taco Tico. And people look up and they go, I can get a burrito for 99 cents at Taco Tico, or I can pay $5.99 for one of your burritos. Screw you, dude. I'm going to Taco Tico.
Yo, 99 cents for a burrito? What are they? What are they? Burritos for ants?
Nah, this was when Taco Bell was ruling the earth.
There it is.
Yeah, I got the video. Let's see if we can get a sound here.
Grossi Perna Show.
What happened?
Show.
I think we would fit right in Paris. I think we would. I don't speak a lick of French, not even a tiny bit, and I think that we would fit right in.
Oh yeah.
Are you kidding me? Us sipping, like, I'll pretend to sip a little cafe, but I don't drink coffee. But you could drink. You could just bring your own, like, bench warmer. You could bring it in the back and be like, "Hey, can you make this for me?" Because they'll be fine with that. Just be like American, and they'll be like, "Oh, okay." So you just bring it back there. You do that, and we could sit there and judge people, and sip our a little cafe. We sip. I think that'd be great.
I mean, that's kind of what I do every day on YouTube. I just judge NFL players.
You just sit there and click on
that
the
guy
video.
Sucks. That guy's awesome. That guy's not good anymore. Russell Wilson's washed, bro.
Oui.
What I wanted to do today, Tom, is talk about some key players that aren't quarterbacks, because quarterbacks get all the love. GPS live from Paris. When DraftKings takes us to Paris. When DraftKings Europe opens. That's when.
DraftKings Europe.
Come on, DraftKings. Honestly, if they put us in Europe to be like the official faces of NFL Europe, we would crush it.
We would crush it. It would like the games are on at like 3:00 in the morning, but we would crush it.
Yeah.
And
like they got Rob Ryan basically over there. Or they did on Sky Sports or whatever it is. We're better than Rob Ryan at talking about football. I'm confident enough to say that.
We're accurate. So you want to go through this little list here and kind of rank the, I guess, most important players for each playoff contending team. Key player. The MV keys, if you will. Does that make sense? It doesn't.
I like it.
Oh, you liked that? Yeah, then that was a great idea. That was a great.
You know what I like? Wordplay. Let's wordplay.
Okay.
Yeah, because this spawned because I saw this stat. I was looking in NFL Reddit, which, I mean, our show should stream in there too, but it doesn't. But I was looking in NFL Reddit, and somebody posted this tweet that said Tom Brady's passer rating with Gronk, 102.9.
Oh.
Without Gronk, 88.9.
Oh.
And then they posted a bunch of other stats, and really, Gronk makes Tom Brady a lot better in the passing game. And that's fair. Like, Gronk he's going to be a Hall of Fame tight end. He is still unguardable at times. Like, guys are scared to tackle him because he's so big. And so I was like, which other play? Leonard Fournette getting a ton of attention this week because he had those 4 touchdowns or whatever against the Colts. Gronk was a big part of that game, over 100 receiving yards.
Yep.
And I think we saw the Buccaneers struggle without Gronk. So it's like, he's important to their playoff push moving forward. Him and Vita Vea, I think, are the two guys probably aren't going to get talked about enough. So like, what other teams, players are kind of emerging as key parts of either their offense or defense that are not quarterbacks? Because obviously the QB, it also, your QB starts playing bad. A lot of bad things probably going to happen unless you're the Ravens, surviving 4 Lamar Jackson interceptions. And I wanted to start with the Bengals because I think this one's pretty easy. And that is running back Joe Mixon. Right now, the Bengals can make a playoff push and win some games in the playoffs if Joe Mixon stays healthy and continues to produce the way he's done the last month. So we've talked about Burrow. We talked about their passing game, their defense being better, but it's Joe Mixon moving forward, in my opinion, the key to the Bengals' success.
You know what's funny, too, is that the last few games, I mean, look at like these stats. I mean, you saw T. Higgins have like an amazing game this past week, but Jamar Chase, who came out like a rocket, right, has been, well, he's had 2 touchdowns in the last 4 games, but he's averaging, I mean, like less than 40 yards. I mean, he's a 32, 49, 32, 39. He's not getting a ton, but Mixon back to back, first of all, 3 back-to-back games with 2 tutties. 2. Yeah. Impressive. And then the last 2 games against the Raiders, 123 yards, and against the Steelers, 165 yards on the ground. Yeah, Joe Mixon is like the guy to keep it going. And if that defense can play well, and again, like, all right, we'll sell out to stop the run and stop Joe Mixon. Well, then you got Boyd, you got Higgins, you got Chase. So the Bengals could be a little dangerous come playoff time.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I think they could. I mean, look at that. Joe Mixon ahead of Nick Chubb now in rushing yards on the season. Of course, Chubb missed a little time with an injury there, but Derrick Henry still being second place is so funny to me.
It's phenomenal.
Been out a month. That's how much he was producing.
Yes.
All right.
That's how good he was, which is just a shame that he's out because it's like he could have smashed like another record.
Yeah. Yeah. He might have had the most rushing yards ever.
Especially with an extra game. Oh, God, yeah. He 100% could have. But I agree with that. I think Mixon is definitely like the guy. Or at least the guy that like the Bengals need for him to get going, because then they have an offense of like, all right, which one do you sell out to try and stop?
Exactly. And it takes so much pressure off your young quarterback when you know your running back's producing. So like Burrow doesn't have to do it all. And we know he can. We know Joe Burrow can. And that's what you want in the playoffs. But if he has that security blanket there, take advantage of it. Just like our number 2 guy, Jonathan Taylor, leading rusher right now for the Colts. And I thought about Darius Leonard, but honestly, like Darius Leonard's good every week. He's been good every week since he joined the Colts. And their defense, that's important. But we saw against the Bucs, the Colts let the Bucs get back in the game because they forgot about Jonathan Taylor. And
they just forgot him. They're like,
oh shit, yeah, we got this guy.
It was like Home Alone when they get on the plane. They're like, we forgot Kevin. Like that's what forgot the Taylor. And that's why they're like, oh, let's make it up to him. Which, by the way, you know what? How rich is that family? They have like a mansion that like 16 people live in. They're going on international trips on Christmas, which is one of the most expensive days to fly in the year. Okay? How much do they make? And they couldn't afford a security system? Come on now.
Yeah. I think I saw somebody tweet that, like, somebody tell me what Kevin McAllister's father did to afford a house like this.
Oh, he is a money launderer or drugs. He might be a drug mule, honestly.
Well, he was in The Sopranos, so.
I mean, and they're flying first class. AJ, that's true. And they're flying first class. They're making stacks. They're getting that DraftKings money. Like they're getting DraftKings before DraftKings was a thing. They may have actually, you know what? Maybe like before like the .com bubble, like they bought DraftKings.com and they're like one day and then they sold it real early for like $1 gajillion. Ooh. That's the lore now.
I like that.
Yeah. So
what if Kevin McAllister's father actually hired the burglars to try and kill his son and it was just unsuccessful?
You know what? That's something I could get behind. And he's just like ripping them apart. He's like, you were supposed to be the wet bandits. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, come on now.
We're the wet bandits.
I'm just saying that he is either smuggling black tar heroin. Like that is a thing. Maybe, you know what? Maybe he was trying to just rob the house for the insurance money. Maybe he was trying to do that. Maybe try to do that. Maybe he didn't know he was going to leave Kevin home, or maybe he did know, and something a little bit more nefarious is going on. Anyway, so yeah, Jonathan Taylor, really important for the Indianapolis Colts.
That one's pretty easy, I think.
Yeah.
And these are teams that I think have a legit shot to get in the playoffs and then win a game in the playoffs. Bucks, it's Gronk and Vita Vea. Broncos. Look who's back in the hunt. The Denver Broncos. Yeah, I know. The child services you keep forgetting your kid. But
they're paying off CPS right now. They're just like, here's like a thick stack of Benjamins. And they'll be like, it's a fine. Yeah, the Broncos are somehow back into the playoff picture. And I love the arc, Brandon Perna. I love the arc has been beautiful. You're riding high, undefeated. You're like, I'm never going to see my team in the power rankings ever again. So I got to put them in there while I can. And then what happens? The drop.
Crash. The stock market.
It's the housing market in 2008, right? That thing's plummeting down. It's the Big Short. And then what's happening? Oh, you beat the Cowboys. That's a little bump up. But then, and now look what happened. You beat the Chargers. And now you're playing the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. Carrie Underwood is going to be singing about the Denver Broncos. She's looking at the sheet and is like, what the? I don't even know this team existed. She don't know. And now, look at you. You could be number one, Brandon Perna.
Just to win over the Chiefs. We'll get into the power rankings and those implications and the curse. But Javonte Williams / Melvin Gordon, the most important players on the Broncos team, they're running backs. I said they got to get over 30 carries to beat the Chargers. They got over 30 carries. They beat the Chargers. The formula is there. Don't overthink it, Broncos. Just keep feeding them the rock. Teddy won't make the mistakes. The passing game's never going to be elite, never going to be great. But we can keep games low scoring, and we've got two very talented backs. Javonte Williams getting a ton of love, a ton of credit, which he deserves. But Melvin Gordon, quietly, just also very, very good. They're a great duo right now. Great complementary backfield. I'm excited about watching them. Of course, both our corners made AFC and NFC Players of the Week, Tom. Pat Surtain and Rasul Douglas. So,
yeah,
that helps. That helps when your guys get pick sixes in the game, which they both did. But I think those guys are important. And then we've got the Dallas Cowboys, who they're getting crapped on a lot. I've been doing some of the crapping myself, rightfully so. But to be fair to Dallas, banged up in the receiving department, right? Amari Cooper, probably going to miss Thursday again. CeeDee Lamb, been hurt. But really, I think the keys to their success, and they are still a playoff team by default of being in the NFC East.
Yeah.
Stupid ass NFC East. Randy Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence, both on IR. Not sure when DeMarcus Lawrence is coming back. But that pass rush without Randy Gregory not been as effective. They need that to help their defense to stay in games, to slow down opposing passers like Derek Carr. So I think it's those edge rushers definitely need Randy Gregory back. But if DeMarcus Lawrence can get on that back on the field before the playoffs, that's a huge boost for their defense. Two really important players for that team.
See, I disagree, man, because you're forgetting about the best corner in the NFL. And Scooter told me that he was the best corner, and it was Trayvon Diggs. Like, he said he was the bestest best. So you mean that he's not the what? Wait, what? Really? No, not. Okay, all right. I guess those other guys are important. I would argue maybe Micah Parsons is also potentially a key guy on that defense.
He's very good. Probably going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Yes, PS2.
Yes.
All other consoles suck. Xbox, eat it. PS5, eat it. PS2 forever, baby.
It was like the greatest console. Like, that's actually not even a lie. Like, it really was. Which, by the way, this is not throwing shade at you, Brandon Perna. This is actually just complimenting the Green Bay Packers. You mentioned PS2, Patrick Surtain, and getting a pick six, winning Defensive Player of the Week, right? Mm-hmm. First round draft pick. Kind of makes sense, right? That's what you kind of hope to hit.
Yeah.
Rasul Douglas off a practice squad.
Yeah, that's what I said in the power rankings.
Ryan Goody McGoody the Looty the Booty. Coming in clutch this year. Devondre Campbell, Rasul Douglas, phenomenal. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think my line was like, as much as Aaron Rodgers might hate it, Packers front office keeps doing a very nice job. Rashawn Gary, finally, I mean, they drafted him high. Production slow, but you had Preston Smith, Zadarius Smith tearing it up. Now he got his opportunity to shine. Other key. Let's just say the Packers. Who's your key guy? I would say Rashawn Gary, but you're saying...
I'm saying Devondre Campbell. Devondre Campbell. Yeah, I mean, Rashawn Gary is incredibly important. I think you saw how important he was because when they didn't play, against the Seahawks, they had the Vikings. They had no pass rush. They couldn't get anything going. Rashawn Gary comes back. What happens? Strip sack, baby. Strip sack. So I think Rashawn Gary is a key part there. But I think Devondre Campbell, because he just gives something to the Packers that they have not had in such a long time. They give them stability in the middle. And Devondre Campbell is a tackling machine. The guy is a leader of that defense with guys like Zadarius out, Jair out. So, yeah, I mean, I was thinking about putting A.J. Dillon there, but I was thinking about this. I was like, the obvious answer, if we're going QB, is Aaron Rodgers. He makes that entire offense go. But it's not Devontae Adams, and I love Devontae Adams, but we can win without Devontae Adams. We've shown that we can win without Devontae Adams. We've shown that we can win without Aaron Jones. We've shown we can win without A.J. Dillon. I think Devondre Campbell, is the guy. So I think that he is one of the key pieces of that defense just because he's doing it all. He's covering, on top of that, he's tackling, run defense. I was thinking about maybe Kenny Clark, because he was a monster. But yeah, I would say that Devondre Campbell is definitely up there. Because look at the difference between the defense of last year compared to this year. One of the only key differences besides Rasul Douglas, right, and Eric Stokes is Devondre Campbell. Everything else basically stayed the same. And look how much better they are. So
that's fair.
They're gone now.
When does Jair get back?
Buddy, that's a great question, and one that we have been asking for about 2 months now. He was practicing on the sideline last week. They're hoping at some point after the bye because, again, they're a little risky that they decided to not go with surgery, would have ended his season. They're trying to hope to just heal it up, but we have no idea. When did he hurt?
What was his injury?
Shoulder.
Was it labrum?
I forgot what he tore or messed up, but yeah, he's got that injury. Z still has a back injury, and then Bakhtiari, we're still hoping every single week.
All right. Moving on. Patriots. This guy's becoming clear, in my opinion. J.C. Jackson, cornerback for New England's defense.
Cameron, that's a great timing because he's saying Stevenson and Matthew Judon are the most important players on the Patriots.
See, Judon's close.
Judon is good. He's an awesome name, too.
Been great. Body by Taco Bell, Matthew Judon.
Yes.
And I think when you have a corner playing as well as J.C. Jackson, it's usually a result of also having a very effective pass rush, disruption up front, causing quarterbacks to make dumb throws, bad throws, and you feast when you're a good cornerback.
Sure.
But I say J.C. Jackson because he afforded the Patriots the opportunity to move on from Stephon Gilmore. And when you let a player like that go, who's been as good as Gilmore has been, you have to have confidence in your secondary to replace that production. So that's why I say J.C. Jackson. You could pick a couple guys probably from the Patriots defense or even their running back by committee with Mac Jones. But I really like J.C. Jackson. I like the way he plays. It's just shut down, lockdown corners really allow you to do a lot on defense.
Yeah. I agree with that. And that's why, I think the Patriots, they're going to be good. Down the stretch, because they have, a bunch of talent on that defense in which, they could carry an offense. And if that offense just gets some playmakers,
there's a lot of good players on the Patriots. We're trying to just pick one guy. But Kendrick Bourne, that's another great example of a receiver stepping up where the Patriots really needed somebody to emerge. So,
well, and that's the thing too. Like, I think that's by design, right? Like, you look at some of these teams and you're like, all right, if you take away this one guy, like, that team is not doing well. I don't know if that's the case with the Patriots, because I think there's other guys that like step up. And I think it's kind of similar with the Packers too. You know, take away Aaron Rodgers, it's a totally different team. But like, you take away Mac Jones and I think you put like an average QB in there, I think that team still does well.
Oh, yeah.
Because like, that's how they're designed, right? Like, it's the defense and like run ball.
Put Tua in there and they still just as good. Put Tua in there.
Jacoby Myers.
Okay, so the Patriots play the Bills Monday night. Really, game of the week. So my Bills player, this might surprise some people. You could be like, oh, Matt Milano on defense. Dude's all over the field. Very important. It is Dane Jackson, the man who will be replacing Tre'Davious White. Big injury to their corner. Trey White, I think allowing like the 4th worst passer rating when targeted this year. Buffalo's defense as a whole, very good. A lot of good players in their secondary. So that's why it is key moving forward. Dane Jackson be just above average corner. Doesn't have to be the best corner in the league, but he's got to help. He's got to help that defense. And I think one start under his belt, maybe played for Trey White when Trey White left the last game. That's my guy for Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, like, you think about Milano, you would love Ed Oliver to like step up and be like that guy too. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm even thinking about on the offense.
Dawson Knox, Matt Breida would be my key guys there.
Maybe Knox, because like he's been pretty damn good. Jordan Poyer is a good pick. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they do without Trey White. Like, that is a huge blow for Buffalo's defense. Something that has been like their strong point for basically the season, especially when their offense is struggling. And I think I'll be streaming Monday's game because I think that's going to be phenomenal. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how the Bills can adapt. I think it hurts their Super Bowl chances. I mean, just like Elton Jenkins being hurt for the Packers, like that doesn't make the team better. Like that makes the team worse. And I think Trey White was that guy, like on that defense, who like you could point to, like a Matt Milano, and be like, hey, like this is the guy who's going to kind of lead you. So yeah, I'm going to be curious to see how the Bills adapt here.
Yep.
I mean, do you think the Bills are still Super Bowl contenders?
They got to ask me that Wednesday. They got to beat the Patriots. They got to beat the Patriots.
Would you put money on the Bills beating the Patriots?
Oh, I might. I already have money on them to make the playoffs in DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code GPS when you sign up at DraftKings. They're going to match your first time deposit bonus. New customers up to $1,000. I got the Bills on a parlay bet as well for a handful of teams to make the playoffs. So they need to beat the Patriots. They need to win that division for me and my financial situation. DraftKings Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of the NFL. And again, if sportsbooks aren't available in your state, don't forget about the DraftKings Fantasy app. They're offering millions of dollars in total prizes every week. Code GPS, you can deposit just $1 and you can receive a deposit bonus of up to $1,000. But you got to use that code GPS. Got to use that code. You got same game parlays, multi-game parlays. Some people love the same game parlays. I like to spread it through multiple games. Okay, that's how I parlay. That's how I parlay, baby.
Spreading it all over, huh?
I really do have to think about my parlay this week because
you've been crushing it.
3 for 3 on parlays, I will be unbearable. I'll be unbearable. That's my goal. Is to be unbearable.
Like the Chicago Bears?
The Chicago Unbearables. Let's change everybody's team name to something more accurate. next time on GPS.
Scott Clow. Someone donates so they turn the heat on in their homes. Listen, oil's expensive. Oil is expensive. All right?
We're the Beanie Bros, dude. We're the Beanie Bros.
It's the Beanie Bros.
The Beanie Bros are back. Okay, next guy. Got to get through this list. Titans. Yeah. Literally anyone who gets healthy is my most important player.
They could be the guy. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever wanted to, what was it, Invincible, right? With Mark Wahlberg playing on the Eagles, right? Was that movie? I think, maybe, potentially. Yeah. I don't know.
Wahlberg.
Right. If you think that you could be an NFL player, head on down to Nashville, just knock on the stadium door and just be like, just give me a chance, Titans. And I got to say, the odds aren't that bad.
Nope.
They're probably not that bad for you to go and actually make the team. Because if you have a pulse and if you have a non-torn ACL, and I think you might be their leading rusher. You could be their leading receiver. I think definitely receiver.
Your doctor, his evaluation of your health just has to be moderately healthy.
Yep.
And that's enough.
It. You got type 2 diabetes, they'll take you.
Yep.
They have insulin on the sideline. That just boom, done. You're in. So I'm just saying, it's worth a shot. If you were ever like, hey, can I go and be a superstar? Can I be the guy?
Yeah.
Titans might give you a shot.
Just to answer that super chat, I already got Jimmy Garoppolo. His name is Teddy Bridgewater. I don't need Jimmy G. I got Teddy B. They're the same quarterback. Both good, not bad. Never will be great. All right. Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs. It's Chris Jones for me. It's Chris Jones.
Yeah, I agree with that.
When he's dominating, it helps every part of that defense. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the Chiefs because fuck them. Packers, Devondre Campbell. We already did it. 49ers. Here's an interesting one, Tom. Everybody's going to want to say Deebo Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's rookie running back Elijah Mitchell. And we're going to find out because Deebo got that groin strain, going to miss a week or two. So they're going to lean on Elijah. And they every win now for the 49ers, very important. I want to believe they're back a little bit. I like the way Kyle Shanahan's coaching that team. I like the way he calls the offense. I think Elijah Mitchell, key to their success moving forward.
I don't disagree. I think I put Deebo in parentheses because I think like he's so good. He's a difference maker, and I think he's what puts the team over the top. But the 49ers have shown that they can win by just running the football.
Yeah.
Like literally that's all they have to do. Jimmy Garoppolo has to complete like 10, 15 passes and they can win. So, and also they need their opposing quarterbacks to line up under their guards. They get those things and they're crushing it. So just saying. Next one, Rams. Now that's interesting, Brandon Perna. You selected Odell Beckham Jr. He is the key to their playoff success. Please elaborate, sir.
Okay. Is he the best player on the Rams? No.
No.
But if the Rams want to get back into the talks of being a legit playoff team, Odell Beckham Jr. has to replace the production of Robert Woods, and he has to become as reliable as Robert Woods in that passing offense. That's why I put Odell in there. Not because I think he's the best player, but I think they made a move for him, and if he doesn't produce at a high level, it's going to screw them. It's going to screw them hard. Could have went with Aaron Donald. Easy choice on defense, but Aaron Donald's triple teamed every play. They need more production for Von Miller. But I think like the guy who can give them the biggest boost is Odell. But
see, how did you label this list? Non-QB players. Because like
most important players. I didn't say the best players.
I'm on like it's not I think it comes down to Sean McVay, dude. Like he's not a player, and I know that's like kind of cheating a little bit, but they have no run game. And I think Henderson's not bad, but they have like no run game. They don't commit to it. On top of that, their offensive line is not like it's getting Stafford hit. Like, I just think that Matthew Stafford to me has much better weapons than he did in Detroit, right? And he's putting up the production like he did when he had like these big wide receivers to throw to. Like now he has like Cooper Kupp and all that great stuff. But they are such a pass-dependent team that no one is taking the run seriously. The offensive line is having trouble all opening any running lanes. And so because of that, they're like, hey, let's shut them down here. And they'll still get big plays. Don't get me wrong. Like it happened to the Packers. Van Jefferson, OBJ, they both got big ones. And Cooper Kupp still got 96 yards. But they're so pass happy, like they're not a balanced offense whatsoever. So like if you're able to shut that down and or do what the 49ers did and just run it down their throats and destroy time of possession, you're going to beat the Rams. So I feel like it's not even down to a player at this point. It might just be like a coach to say, hey, maybe, we commit to the run a little bit more. Maybe we do a little bit more jet sweeps. Like maybe, we're putting guys back there to chip defenders because it just doesn't look like a balanced team. And they can still win without being balanced. But yeah, they got Sony PS5 Michelle. So, they have so many weapons, but they're basically saying, hey, Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford, and these wide receivers, go win us the game. And they can beat a lot of teams with that. I'm sure they're going to beat Jacksonville with that. But the really good teams or like the even like above average teams, they could have a problem because now you just know how to game plan against them. And I think that offensive line is a real weak point, and it's McVay's inability to be a little bit more diverse with his play calling. Like he got outcoached by Matt LaFleur in that game. Hardcore got outcoached because the play calls, especially in the second half that he was calling. Yeah. So that's my kind of cheating, but that's kind of my pitch there.
Yeah. Does Sean McVay have a weakness against other young head coaches? Because Kyle Shanahan has his number. Matt LaFleur has his number.
Just ones that are sexier than him.
Yeah.
And Matt LaFleur is the hottest coach in the NFL.
So maybe it's Henderson. Maybe they need to lean on Henderson is what you're saying.
I mean, I'm very curious to see what this team would look like with Cam Akers. Obviously, he's out before the season ever began. And I think that that's a big problem. But it just seems it's like, hey, we have this QB in Matthew Stafford. Let's utilize him all the time and really don't do anything else. I mean, you know what? Now we're gonna put some stats behind this. Okay. Let's look at Henderson's stats.
Yeah, somebody asked if Elijah Mitchell was playing. Yes, he had 27 carries against Minnesota for 133 yards. So that's 49ers running back Elijah Mitchell. That's why I think
crushed it. All right, so you look at let's start here. So Henderson in the last 3 games, right? So starting with the Titans, 55 yards, no touchdown, 31 yards, only gets 5 carries, and then 55 yards against the Packers. So that was on 16 attempts, which was his like 3rd most that he had all year. Sony Michel, dude, is getting single-digit carries since the Giants game back in October 17th. But you look at them against the Buccaneers. So September 26th, Buccaneers, Sony Michel gets 20 carries. On top of that, I don't think Henderson played that game, but like it's a little bit more of a commitment to the run. And I don't think for whatever reason, whether it's the O-line or whatever, they just don't want to do it.
Sean McVay has a commitment problem. Boom. There's your headline. Rams right now in Pro Football Focus have the highest graded pass blocking unit in the NFL. And they're very good at run blocking. So there's literally no excuse for Sean McVay to not lean on the run. Help his struggling quarterback out. Control the clock a little bit. All the things you benefit from by running the football. Mm-hmm. And teams that are kind of clawing their way back into the playoff race and having success, they're running the ball well right now. Buccaneers running it well with Fournette. Colts running it well. The only reason the Broncos beat the Cowboys and then the Chargers this week running the football. The teams that start to struggle to do that, like the Browns, start to get their ass kicked. So yeah, you figured out the Rams. They just need to run the football. Cardinals. Let's move on to the Cardinals. I don't have a single player here. I think it's their defensive line, and I say that because they lost J.J. Watt. And in addition to not having their quarterback out, their defense, or to having their quarterback not on the field, their defense playing well. And nobody's talked really much about J.J. Watt's injury. I don't know a lot about the Cardinals' defensive line. I'm not going to lie. But I think that unit up front, they continue to play well. And we continue to not talk about J.J. Watt not being out there. That's their key. We know about the talent at the linebacker positions for the Cardinals. Their rookie, Zaven Collins, Isaiah Simmons. You got Buda Baker, safety.
Buda.
It's that defensive line for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I argue like you can get into like James Conner. I think like he's a big point of that too, especially with Kyler being out. Because they show that they can win without Kyler because they lean on the run, right? I mean, they've lost once too, but I think it's it could be because they have so many weapons on that team, but we just haven't seen it. And the fact that the Cardinals are still 9-2, and like we haven't seen Kyler Murray in weeks, they still have the best record in the NFL. I think it's a testament to like they're still a damn good football team.
Yeah, I'm really curious to watch them when Kyler returns. So,
yeah,
you know, we could talk about the Raiders and the Chargers a little bit, but I don't want to right now. Instead, Tom, we've got to dip into our power rankings.
Dun, 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 dun,
And
dun,
compare.
dun. Holy crap! You put the 49ers at 6?
Yeah, baby.
Why are the Raiders for being the Cowboys? Oh, buddy.
Yeah, baby.
But wait, the Chiefs aren't there?
No, Chiefs are on a bye week. So are the Cardinals. So Chiefs-Cardinals not on my list. They're on the Perna reserve list, Tom. I don't rank a team that didn't play a damn football game. Oh. They would be top 5, both of them right now. But the Perna reserve list allows me to put some other teams on there that might not get on the list.
Yeah, like the Broncos. Good, and what happened, Perna?
Which is good because I put my Broncos at 10, and this is what freaking happened. Now, the wheel has only been unable to curse the Patriots this year, so please respect its power. Let's rank the best teams in an ever-changing NFL and find the curse. Wheel takes forever. Oh, no! No. No, fuck me. No. No! No! Oh! And don't forget, the only way to save or stop the curse is 10,000 likes on the video. Was to my number 10 in cursed team, the Denver Broncos! I cursed my own team, Tom.
Yep.
We're at 7,000 likes. Broncos fans are showing up to say
they really are. I was looking at that and I was like, damn, that's a lot of likes.
I thought, this was my thought, honestly. If I can't get Broncos country to show up and save this team with 10,000 likes, I should quit YouTube because I've lost my touch.
Oh, it's going to be really awkward when I do this show, and it's just going to be the GS show.
Dude, if you asked for 10,000 likes on a video to save the Packers, you would get probably 50,000 likes.
I might.
That's how powerful you are right now. I feel like I'm slipping. People are like, fuck this guy. I've seen enough of this. Seen enough of this dumb stuff. So I cursed the Broncos. I like the curse is real, kind of, right? It's this fake thing that happened. It's just been relentless. I'm legit scared. I
would be too.
And people are like, he actually cursed his own team. Yes, I did. I have not cheated once this year with the wheel. I spin it once. Whatever it lands on, that's the curse. I don't do a different take. I could have. No. I pay my.
By the way, that jacket you were wearing was phenomenal.
Oh, you like that?
I did.
Yeah, I got a peacock to get attention. So, yeah, the Broncos got the curse. They play the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. They haven't beat the Chiefs in 12 straight games or something stupid. 11, can't remember now.
let's
12.
let's keep that up for a hot second. I want
Sure.
to have a good gander at this.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 10, my 10 was the 49ers. Your 6 was the 49ers.
Yeah.
So they went up that much just because you don't have the Chiefs. Because I feel like if you put the Chiefs and the Cardinals there, they're pushed down to what, 8?
Yeah, probably. Like the Raiders, Broncos probably get pushed off the list there.
That makes sense. Okay. So then, all right. So then it's not too far off because like the Cowboys then are basically in like the same position. Same with the Bills. You have the Ravens at 5 still. So the way that I looked at this, and this is because I was looking at like the NFL playoff picture, what have you, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, the Ravens technically are the number 1 team in the AFC. And I think they're one of the weakest teams right now in the AFC because of how they've been recently playing.
I disagree. Because it's their offense that's been bad. But their defense, the last 3 weeks, how many points are they allowing? Very few.
Here's the thing.
Go for it. Go for it.
I agree that their defense is good. But, dude, I honestly don't know if it was the defense being that good in that Baltimore-Cleveland game. I think it was the Browns' offense being that bad because they were that bad. Baker Mayfield is literally stitched together right now. Like, he is Brett Favre without the painkiller addiction and with the less talent. Like, going out there, and he just looks wrong. It just doesn't look good. So, like, I understand what you're saying. The defense is still good, but I think a lot of it came down to the Browns being that bad.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But I think they've been winning without their offense playing well. Early in the season, their defense was a liability, but Lamar Jackson, the offense kept them in games. They figured out to win. Now their offense not functioning correctly. And their defense is keeping them in games. The last 3 games, defense has been better. So my thought is, if the offense and the defense both show up to play at the same time, which we haven't seen yet, I still think they're a good, dangerous football team. I think Lamar Jackson is not going to throw 4 interceptions every week. And even, I saw this stat about Jackson. All of his he's had 12 picks this season. 10 of them have been multi-pick games.
Yeah.
So there's 4 games. He had 4, and then there's 3 other games where he had 2 picks. The Ravens won all of those games. So,
but
I think
let's
Jackson, if he's playing well, that offense is so hard to stop. He's had a little slump there. Will he get out of the slump? I don't know. I trust him to get out of the slump more than I trust Matt Stafford at this point. So that's why I got him at 5. They could prove me wrong next week. They lose next week. They'll be out. They'll be out of that list. I don't care.
I'm going to make
a
statement.
But I put the Bengals
here.
ahead of them.
I'm going to make a statement. I don't think the Baltimore Ravens have played a great game since October 17th.
Wow.
When they beat the Chargers 34-6. Look at the following games. They get blown out by the Bengals. That's the next week. The next one, they go toe-to-toe with the Vikings and go into overtime. They played well, but they had to come back from that, and that was like a good comeback performance, but they were terrible in the first half. They lose to the Dolphins the following week. Then they beat the Bears, but let's be honest, the Bears suck. And like they did it without Lamar Jackson, so I give them credit for that, but it wasn't a great game. And then the Browns game was freaking terrible. Like, for me, they're still in the top 10 for me, which is saying something, but I don't know, dude. It's like they are, I think that team right now, and it's not even all their fault. Like, listen, the Ravens have been destroyed by injuries. One of the worst teams when it comes to injuries. And they're still finding ways to win football games, and I give them all the props in the world for that. But, dude, I
have them 2 spots higher than you.
Because I don't think they're a top 5 team. Now, listen, if you put...
But I don't have the Cardinals or Chiefs in there, so they're probably at 7, so it's probably the same. It's probably the same.
I don't know. I feel like I've thought on this more because I think it's just crazy to me. They're the number 1 team in the AFC, and I don't think that they're I don't even think they're the best team in their division.
Well, yeah, maybe not this week. I don't think they're the best team in the division. I think that might actually be the Bengals. We both put the Bengals ahead of them. I think that's why the Bengals had their way with them. I think the Ravens are well coached. I think they can figure it out, and I think they're starting to get production from their defense. And if you assume their offense will click again, then yes, they're one of the best teams in the AFC. But they got to prove that, and they're not going to prove it next week because they play the Steelers. Then they play the Browns again, and then they get your Packers December 19th. So that's when we're going to find out who the Ravens are. And actually, we'll probably find out how good the Packers defense is. That's a dynamic threat, a weird rushing threat, and then also a dangerous passing attack they can have. That's how they destroyed the Broncos. But
the AFC North in its entirety does not have an easy schedule left. Like they are going to be put through the ringer. They're facing each other a whole lot. On top of that, they're playing some really good teams. It's going to be a battle for that. So I'm very curious. So yeah, all right. So if we push it down, we basically have like the same because you didn't put the Cardinals and or the Chiefs in there.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, the only thing I was contemplating putting the Packers at 2. I really was. But Randall Cobb got injured too. And I was like, I don't know how significant that injury is. And like, I think the Packers playing the Bears, that'll be the Sunday night game. Hopefully be a bounce back game after the bye. We'll play pretty damn well.
I put the Packers ahead of the Patriots because the Packers just beat a better quality opponent.
Yeah.
So like the Titans, literally nobody showed up to play because they're all dead. So
they're all dead now. Yeah.
Literally, they were all dead.
Literally.
Yeah. So, the Patriots are good. They're going to get a bit bigger test this weekend. So our power ranking is actually pretty close this week. We're getting later in the season. I think they're going to be closer moving forward, unless the NFL continues to be crazy. But
which it will.
I don't know. Yeah.
Which it will.
I hope.
Yes, Randall Cobb is out. What in God's name is that? You're the eyes of God. That's like in Great Gatsby, like the billboard of the eyes, like staring down and judging everyone.
Yes. And see, there's this really like silly thing, this bumper sticker here in Colorado. It's like, how do I know God's a Broncos fan? Because sunsets are orange and blue. And like Broncos fans eat that shit up. They love it. And I'm like,
it's pollution.
I've always thought it was like really silly. So I tweeted this photo out and I said, you know how I know God is a Broncos fan? Because I am God. And then as a man with the powers of God, I cursed my own team. So maybe I'm the devil. Maybe I'm the devil.
You flew too close to the sun. It
was just a cool picture, though. I was like, how can I ruin this really cool picture? How about I put my face up in the cloud?
Nailed it. Also, we have a Thursday night game. Cowboys Saints. Cowboys won't have Mike McCarthy, as we talked about. Could have a traffic cone there. That actually might help them. And then the Saints, is Kamara playing? I don't even know. But Taysom Hill looks like he's going to be getting quarterback duty.
Yeah, he's got plantar. I saw today he's got plantar fasciitis. He's got a fasciist foot.
Inserts in. You're fine.
Yeah, that's what Peyton Manning played through in his final season, his broken season. He had the plantar fascia, had some other stuff. So, yeah, you pay Taysom Hill, and then he's hurt. You're like, why are you still starting Trevor Siemian after you just gave this guy more money? Oh, because his foot's hurt. Is Kamara coming back? Let me just look it up. That should be information we have.
Can you imagine? And it's a home game for the Saints. Can you imagine the Cowboys lose again? Like, I want to be more excited about it, but the NFC East can't even get their crap together. Like, they're so bad. So, like, the Eagles, I was like, this is your time. This is your moment. Beat the Giants. And they're like, I'm good. Thanks, though. I appreciate it.
Yeah. See, people said the curse wheel worked last week because I put the Eagles and Vikings in at 10-9, and I spun the wheel to decide between which 2 spots those teams got, and that the curse just went and attacked both of those teams.
The curse just has a mind of its own. It's a sentient being at this point.
I'm not going to try to figure it out.
Yeah,
Kamara, limited in practice. I think there's a chance he plays, but like Kamara's out, Dalvin Cook's out, Christian McCaffrey's out, and Derrick Henry's out. All of the running backs that are all very good, that all got paid.
Are out.
Just ruthless.
I mean, listen, I'll be honest. I still hope that the Cowboys lose. Yeah. Just for the lulls.
Yeah, no, I'll be rooting for the Saints. Kamara would be the most important player for their success moving forward. I just don't think they're a playoff team. So,
you don't think the Cowboys or the Saints are a playoff team?
Saints.
Oh, I was gonna say because I think just by proxy they'll win that division and that'll be it. But
it's me, Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
I'm gonna steal from the rich and then
keep it.
Get a tax break.
We're men in tights.
We hit a wall. Our navigation's ended, Tom.
That's it. We did it. We passed 12 o'clock, and then this just goes off the wall completely. This just completely.
Yeah.
But, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you tuning out on a Wednesday, coming out for another episode of the Grossi Perna Show. GP freaking frackin' S.
We did it.
I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna.
I'm a Brandon Perna.
Thanks so much for watching. You've been navigated.
And you've reached your destination. Your final destination.
Homeward bound.